relaxing music and environment, and a go-at-your-own-pace kind of RPG. Let's spend some time talking about Titan Reach, the open-world RPG indie game with an active Kickstarter happening right now. You can, coincidentally, find a link in the description below. Having played and streamed through the game a few times now, well, I'm ready to chat a bit about Titan Reach as a whole. So let's have a look. Just taking one moment to ask that you subscribe to the channel if you are at all interested in indie gaming reviews. Been working pretty hard lately on the reviews for the channel, and it is an easy and free way that you can support. But on to Titan Reach. I jumped into the game for the first time with, well, mixed expectations. I love the art direction, and having a multiplayer demo available with so many regions is a great start. Yet I've never been drawn to repetitive RPG grinding games in the style of, and I will only mention this once in this review, RuneScape. So you could definitely say that I was a bit skeptical about how much fun it would be hitting rocks and mining different minerals. I have to say that I was quite pleasantly surprised. Yes, there is an element of repetitive grinding, chopping down those trees and mining for copper and killing those chickens, poor little farm animals. However, the world is charming enough that I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. I am never going to be your RPG player that tries to max out every single stat possible like I was on some kind of mission from above. But is there enough going on here for the inexperienced casual player like myself? Well, yes. The tutorial is really well made, even though it kind of makes fun of it when you complete it. And despite a couple of hiccups from my end, it's easy enough to follow through. There is enough complexity in terms of crafting and combining items to get them to work without having to need a cheat sheet to make anything that could be useful. I really enjoyed that, even though having only played through for a short amount of time, I felt like my knowledge of the game was increasing at a steady pace. And I'm ready to head out onto my own adventure once I have finished that tutorial. There were a bit of a misfortune with the server issues forcing me to have to restart a few times, and perhaps a player or two was frustrated at that, but I didn't mind it. I like how smooth it is working through the different crafting quests, and I never felt like I was in any rush. Being an early demo build of the game, you can imagine there's a few problems you're going to run into along the way. Sometimes different parts of the UI can get in the way of what you're trying to achieve, and movement is smooth enough without being amazing. I did like the swimming onto the ground bug, and I can't see any reason my hero doesn't just try to freestyle it a little bit further after leaving the pond. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like I had to craft about 10 pairs of gloves just to get the skill level required for the next armor. And things like that I feel are a little bit of unnecessary grinding, but I haven't run into too much like that so far. I'm always a fan of getting the chance to play a game before committing to it, and I fully recommend jumping in and giving Titan Reach a crack for yourself. This is one of those games that some people are going to lose a lot of time immersing themselves into the world. Don't expect a fully fledged narrative to follow just yet with this one, but do expect to sit down for half an hour and end up being there for quite a few more. I'm super impressed by the engagement from the developers and moderators, and each time I have logged into the server, playing on the Australian server actually, so you'd think it'd be one of the less populated ones, there's always been developers and mods jumping on and asking questions and having a bit of banter with the community as well. And I think that's really important, and I like the added level of humor that's been put into this Kickstarter campaign, and you can see that when you sign up to the game at the start with a few different comments that they mention. What I think is really impressive about Titan Reach is the fact that even though it's not fully funded, you can jump on and play with other people on a multiplayer server across different regions, and that's before they've even got the funding to go ahead and, commit even more money to making this the best game that could be. You can't fault the effort and the direction of the game, and I have a lot of high hopes for the amount of content that's going to come out with this one. I must say, for a game that I wasn't expecting too much with, I am super impressed with Titan Reach, and it's one of the more impressive Kickstarter-based demos that I have played through. Tell me your thoughts about Titan Reach in the comments below, and if you want to jump on and play on the Australian server with me, let me know. Let's go and, take out some cows together or something like that. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. You should definitely check out Titan Reach.